And welcome to the Wendell Effect for the Indian markets. My name is Brandon Wendell, and I'll be your guide as we take a look at what's going on over in India on the Nifty and Sensex and other indices and sectors as well. This will be for the week of the 9th of July, 2023. So welcome. Just a quick reminder, we're not broker-dealers or investment advisors. We're going to look at this information from an educational standpoint only. I'm not telling you to buy or hold any particular securities, give any personalized recommendations. All markets do involve try to say limit and risk at the same time, list. But anyway, we can never eliminate the risk. We just try to manage what we have. And we're not subject to trading restrictions, so we can have a position in a security or initiate one at a time. And I want to invite everybody to email me if you've got any questions or anything you want to talk about in the markets. brandonwendell.cmt@gmail.com. You can also find me at TraderBdub, and of course, please hit the like and subscribe button on the video, so that way we can keep providing these for you. You can even get the notifications as well. Okay, here we go. We got the right map now. So you can see very, very green pretty much across the board with a couple of exceptions, Kotak Bank and Wipro. For the most part, though, very bullish. We'll see if that continues. When we go back from last month down to last week, you notice that we're getting a little bit of slowing going on in these markets. So we did have strength in Reliance, TCS, and a few others. But for the most part, we're turning a little bit more bearish than we had been in these markets. So looking at the weekly Nifty, we actually hit a target. Remember, I said watch for these overlaps. We had impulse, correction, impulse, and actually made it to the second target of 100%. We also had impulse, correction, impulse, and that gave us the target 127.2 right in that same area. So we should get a breather now, a little bit of a pullback before we run up to the next target. And that would be at the 20,300 area, basically. Daily Nifty, we are starting to pull back. There's demand way down at the bottom of that last impulse. I don't know if we'll get that far down. I'm thinking we might actually bounce right around this 18,887.50, so watch out for that. All the way down the 4-hour chart, right in that area, it was a little bit above it. It's of 880. We're at 19,000 to 8,944. Again, looking for this pullback, and that's a little more 50%, a little under 61.8 of this impulse. But it's a good area where we got a Fibonacci in the middle there, 61.8, and we have a physical demand zone there as well. Moving on to the Sensex. See, that was the Nifty 4-hour. Yeah, Sensex, pretty much the same picture. We actually overshot the targets a little bit here on the Sensex. Momentum just carried us forward, and we're getting that rollover now. You see all the weakness that's coming into the price, topping tails on the candles, a lot of red. And looking on the 4-hour, you can see we've already retraced 23.6. I don't think we're done with this retracement. We could go with low at 64.50 right here. Moving into the different indexes and sectors, you can see on Nifty IT, we actually hit supply finally, and that would have been on Wednesday of last week, I believe. We did do a pullback, but we're not done. It looks like we're going to correct a bit more, maybe even down to the 78.6 level, 28,763. You see a big divergence. Prices went higher, didn't have momentum. And on to Nifty Auto, pretty much still chugging along to the upside. We are losing a little momentum than we had once before, but it doesn't look like that much. I'd rather move on decent momentum, not necessarily big spikes anyway. But it looks like we're trying to get up to this 15,800 area before pulling back. And we'll just watch and see. Nifty PSU Bank, we actually already had tested this area of supply, so we broke it on the next test. And we've continued to go higher. Lots of bullish activity on this sector. And it looks like we're going to move to the 4,600, basically, where we're looking. All the way, I'm sorry, not down. Next is Nifty CPSE. And let's see, we didn't have that here. No, we just have strong candles. What I'm noticing on some of these now is we've got this large green followed by the small red. And that is considered to be what they call a harami pattern. And I know what it means in Hindi, but harami in Japanese means little boy. No, sorry, that's doji. It means pregnant. It's pregnant. So this harami candle, the mother is the bigger one. The red candle is the baby, and you notice it's inside the body of the mother. Anyway, that's usually a signal for a possible trend change. It could be a pullback or a reversal. And you can see right now we've got higher high in price, but not on the indicator. We're likely to get a pullback now because of that. So negative divergence, watch for a pullback. It's confirmed when you go below the closing price of the green candle. So Nifty Digital is also on its way down. We stalled just shy of the supply, but don't seem to be pausing too well on the way down. We're just moving pretty quick. It looks as though we got a little bit of weakness here coming in. Lower highs, lower lows. We're going to could even take out these lows and retest at least to this area, which is about 56.50. On the Nifty Private Bank, pretty much the same picture. Once again, we have a little more momentum than we've had before, but we gave all the momentum back and we're rolling over. There's more room to the downside to go here. I just don't know which level it's going to stop out, so watch for it. Nifty PSE, same thing. The bearish harami is right there. And we have the baby. If you want, I mean, you might get stuck right in the gap here rather than dropping further, but it looks as though it is going to pull back a bit. It could go as low as basically just under 5,000. That's what I'm targeting there. Nifty Financial Services on the daily chart, also very, very weak, pulled back quite a bit. We still might get some more pullback to this 50% or 61.8 on the retracement. That puts us at about 20,016 or 19,884. Nifty Pharma, not quite as weak, but again, it's all the same patterns here. We have this weakened weakened candles, small range candles there at areas of supply. So this is suggesting we are going to turn around. Once more, we do have a divergence, lower highs in the indicator, higher highs in price. And then we got the Nifty Small Cap 50. This doesn't look as bearish. It looks like it wants to go sideways now. So I'm expecting some sideways movement for the week. We got alternating red and green candles. So no real momentum in either the bullish or the bearish side, just kind of drifting. Looking at the mid caps, that's a little bit more bearish, but not by much. All these candles are about the same, all these different charts. You got a couple reds, a couple greens, and the red right away. So, this is all showing weakness. And, I guess we're above 60, well above it on the RSI. Get this set up right. Wrong one. And you just can't see the whole thing. But we're pretty bullish, but we are losing some of that momentum. Nifty Healthcare, this is looking a bit weak as well. We got the divergence, as you saw on the other chart. And let's see. We've already hit targets. Trying to see where we might stop. Maybe this 88.52 area, the next demand there. Nifty Infrastructure also got that bearish harami right there. You got the rally, the basing candle. It could go anywhere. And then we'll see what happens. But it does look like it wants to move back down. And I don't know if this is already tested demand. We could break that and go right to the next level of demand. Interesting. Here's something there. Nifty Oil and Gas broke out of the channel. Remember, we were watching for this last week. I said, watch for that breakout of the channel. And I said it could come back and retest. It's exactly what it did. If I zoom in a little bit here, you'll see. Here's the breakout I was warning about. Okay, because that's Monday. Broke out. There's your retest. So don't chase. If you missed it, you missed it. But there may be another opportunity around the corner. You just got to wait to see if it pulls back. But as of right now, there's nothing to hold us down. We can go all the way to the origin of that previous move around 9,000. It may not be that high, but 87. Pretty good move. And Nifty FMCG also showing a lot of bearishness. Here we didn't have a harami, but we did have that gap up that completely closed right away. It just went solid a bit. And Nifty Energy chart, we bounced off an area of demand and we're moving up right now. I've got an upside target here at about $26,000, just below that. And 27,141 for the next target. But really, this looks good. You got the fib extension and the supply zone all right in the same area. Next, we have Nifty MNC, also showing some weakness. Not looking as bad on the chart, but definitely still a weakness there. You got the lower high on the indicator while you got higher high on price. And let's see here. We've got just divergence. I was trying to see where it might be going, but it doesn't look like we got much of anything here. Just kind of drifting along, but it might do a sideways movement before it rallies again. Okay, Nifty Realty, same problem, divergence. You have that big move up and the big move down on the indicator. It doesn't look nearly as impressive. So lots of weakness there. Consumer durables, same picture. It's like same thing over and over and over again. Again, we're making these higher highs, but we can't hold them. We're getting those big topping tails pushing back. More importantly here, you can see that negative divergence. So that's definitely warning. One that is pretty bullish and might continue is Nifty Media. You can see that we ended up with the divergence right here. We were making new lows, not on the indicator, followed by a low in price that didn't make a low on the indicator, and we broke out. Now we've broken out, we're likely to retest before going higher. So wait for that pullback to this 1839.75. You might be able to jump on board on that fib retracement or extension to catch a move to the next one. And here's Nifty Metal. Once again, divergence. We always have something. Prices made the higher high, but the indicator said, nah, not going to do it. And we might get a pullback on top of that. If we do get the neckline, the measured move could take us almost to this demand zone on the measured move. So keep an eye out for that if it follows through. Okay, so moving along, we have the Nifty Bank to finish off. And we overshot the target, but we did hold in that area. We kind of closed in that area. It was the 100% duplication of this impulse and 6218 of that impulse. So it ended up overlapping. This ones I like to find where you got that overlapping of zones all pointing the same area. It's more likely to work. So we're getting a correction as well. Not sure how deep this will go, but it's a healthy correction after a big boom. And if we do break out, our next target would be here, 46,318. So that's where we are in Nifty Bank. We can take a look at some follow-up on the trade ideas I put out before. And there weren't too many new ones last week. We had HDFC waiting for it to kind of creep into this demand. And it did. If you waited and were patient, it eventually broke out. And now we're almost at target 1. So that's pretty good. And we should have our stop moved up. Typically, I use 2 moving averages as a trailing stop. It's totally up to you. I go out to my chart again. There we are, Housing Development Finance. What time frame are we on? Let's do the daily. And again, I just forgot what I was looking for. So waiting to see what, if we pull back where we might go to. We don't really have a great demand zone, but we can put in the fibs to give us an idea of where we might be retracing to. Yeah, it's a little slow sometimes. This one. No, wrong one. There we go. Template retracement. Sorry about that. Anyway, you can see we pulled back 50% and could pull back a bit more. So just wait and see when we start to get our footing, a foothold here. As long as we don't go below 40, we're fine, and we should resume the bullish trend. And HDFC daily chart, this is where we are, by the way. I'm sorry, this was our previous one. Oh, that's what I was going to show. We broke out, and I was going to show the moving averages I typically use as a trail stop. I use on the trading time frame that I'm trading on, 8, and this is the wrong one. Change settings to 21. And there we go. So basically, well, this might be a stop out because once I get a close below the 8, or if we break the 21, I get out. That's on the time frame in which I'm trading. It doesn't matter which security. I can go to even the Nifty as an index. And you can see in strong trends tend to hold those lines. It definitely will kick you out. I'm sorry. Yeah, we get out as long as we don't close below that 8 or breach the 21. We can stay in. If that either one of those happens, and we get it, again, we got to exit the position. And this was also a previous trade, NHPC. We hit the demand zone, and it's basically crawling up, not very fast, but We're starting to get a little sideways here, as you can see. If we break out, hopefully it breaks to the upside, but if it breaks to the downside, again, wait to see if it, you put in 2 lines around that basing, it'll break down. It needs to close below, then retest for it to be legit. Otherwise, it might just be a whipsaw that takes you back in. And this is where we are right now. You can see we tried breaking out. We had the close above. We're getting that retest right now. Raw steel was another one we were following up on. We were waiting for it to come to our entry spot for our demand. And oops, I don't think I have the follow through on this one. Nope, it didn't. That's where we are right now. It just hasn't made it into the demand. So we're still waiting on that. And Zomato Limited, also, I think we're waiting on that one. Check. Well, this is the current chart, so that's it. Yeah, we were basically moving sideways and coming down towards demand. Haven't quite hit it. Credit Access daily chart, also waiting for it to come into demand. Right here, really good move to the upside. It's been deeply retracing, but we're still pretty bullish, although we did have a divergence. Be careful with this one. If we go into 1200, we want to buy, we got to make sure we close all the gaps that they're forming there, and that way we can break out. We also need the RSI above 60 for us to break out to new highs. And Credit Access daily chart, I went over that one, but I guess not. Anyway, we got rally base, and we're trying to drop into this demand zone. Let's see, nope, that's it. That's not a follow through. We are right here now. So yeah, just gotta be patient, wait, see if it drops in. On Time Tech, actually, I probably should put that back here, but still be okay either way. We have our impulse measurement. Oh, that's why I did it there. It's from the weekly chart. This is on the daily, and we have this impulse pullback is what I'm waiting for, and then the continuation target 1, target 2. So for some new trade ideas, again, these were follow-ups on one that I already presented to you. And going back, we have, let's see, 2 open. Yeah, HDFC, and then the other one. So now new trade ideas. IDFC First Bank. Again, waiting for it to come back and test the moving average of the 89 periods with the demand zone. So we got a little bit of weakness coming in. You can see in the momentum. Might go sideways, but as soon as it hits that moving average, it usually will kick off very strong to the upside. And then we have IDFC Limited. Don't get those 2 confused. They're separate securities. You have the IDFC First Bank and then just the IDFC Limited. And again, waiting for a pullback into our demand. This might be kind of a sucker play at the 103, 101. You may have to wait for the original demand here at 96 to 100 just to be safe. Hindustan Construction, HCC. You can see that it's not really a great demand zone, but we do have drop, base, and rally, broke out of highs. So if we can bounce off that area, I'm actually targeting the next projections because we already hit those more. And Alok Energy, our industries, again, waiting for a pullback. We have rally, base starting to drop. I'd like to see it coming quickly to hit both the moving average and the demand zone, but it may not happen. We might have to do one or the other. So that's what I got for you for this week. And if you got any questions, email me, brandonwendell.cmt@gmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter @TraderBDub, and please hit the like and subscribe button. Helps us out a lot, allows us to continue bringing you these videos on a weekly basis. So thank you. Trade safe, trade well. Take care, everyone.